Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm giving you a tour of my apartment at the Sun Calling Tower located in Yokosuka, Japan. This building is equipped with so many amenities from laundry rooms, private entranceways, multiple elevators. We even have vending machines and a mail room. We even have 24-hour security, a bike room, a carport, and my favorite place is the entertainment room. You can study here, you can entertain guests, all while overlooking the city of Yokosuka, Japan. Each floor has its own trash room where you can sort and dispose of all your garbage. So when I first enter my home, you see we have the area where we take off our shoes. I'm fortunate enough to have a nice size shoe closet as soon as I walk in the door. So I'll give you guys a quick tour of that. It's not much to see just because it is a tight space. Okay, so this is my shoe closet. It's big for a shoe closet, especially here in Japan, but I've made it multifunctional and kind of made it a coat closet as well. I love that it has plenty of storage, not just for shoes, but like your little tote bags that you might use daily. I actually have my little rolling cart that I use to collect mail and packages, and it even has like little umbrella racks here for rainy days and storage like that. There's also more storage on this side. I've definitely maximized all my space. And then this little coat rack actually was the perfect size for this closet to where I could throw all my items in there. I know it's not the most organized looking, but I have a lot of coats, guys, like a lot of coats and jackets. So I needed a place to store them that wouldn't take up too much space in my closet. So that's it for the shoe cabinet. Now we're transferring over to our house slippers so that we can actually walk throughout the rest of the home. This foyer here is where my actual toilet room and bathroom branch off of. I will show you guys that, but I actually have some decent storage here. This is my linen closet. I didn't see a lot of places that actually had them when I was looking for a place to live, so I'm really happy that this place has it. I decided to actually decorate it. I actually have a little welcome basket here for when I have guests over. It has all like the little amenities and things that they would need. And I kept some of my decorations from my old place in Italy. When you guys see the actual bathroom, you'll see why it's in here and not in the actual bathroom itself. But right next to that, we have the toilet room, which is probably my second favorite room in the house because I have a Toto with all the buttons and gadgets and gizmos. This is my absolute favorite spot to just come and chill after work, decompress for the day. I actually have quite a bit of storage in this bathroom as well, which was a shocker to me. So I appreciate that. I even have a little storage cabinet here for little cleaning supplies. But that's about it for the actual toilet room. You can hit the light on that. And then over here is the actual vanity / bathroom. So again, here I have plenty of storage, a lot more than the norm. So I am grateful for that. I have storage behind this mirror, which I keep like my makeup, as well as this one, perfume and other goodies. And the last one where I keep like other little essentials and things like that. I also have storage above the washing / dryer station. I love this thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I lived in Italy, I hated the idea of a 2-in-1. I had used one before while living in Italy, and it took so long for a full cycle to complete. And not only did it take long, but my clothes were not fully dry. This thing, it's so neat because you can do the middle, which is wash and dry. So it'll weigh what the weight of the item is that's inside of here. Once it calculates the weight, then it'll calculate how long it'll take for it to actually complete a full cycle. I can literally just throw my things in there, set it on the wash and dry cycle, and then it'll take care of it. Then of course, if you just need to wash, you can do that, or just dry. That's an option as well. But for ease and convenience, I love doing the full cycle turning it on and like going on about my day. But I also have storage underneath here, which is nice and convenient. 2 storage drawers there as well. And then behind the door is the actual bathroom. So it took me a little while to get used to this whole setup here, but now I love it. It's like having my own personal sauna because it gets super hot in here. This door closes and seals the heat and steam in pretty tight. So I get my own little steam room. I have a little concert going on. I even went ahead and got one of these shower speakers. So it's a whole vibe in here, y'all. They also have these poles in here in case you need to dry anything, hang dry anything, or hand wash something. If you want to cover the tub and when it's not in use, you can actually put these little covers down and it'll cover the tub itself. And move that out the way. This is where you actually control the heat and temperature for the bath water, the shower head, as well as the bathroom or vanity sink. You can set this button for it to actually just automatically fill the tub up. And it's pretty cool because the water comes out through here. So it's pretty neat if you're in the tub when the water is filling up or while it's going through the heating cycle. And what I mean by that is it has this cool little feature where you can maintain the temperature. So like, let's say you have the bath water filled and you want it to just maintain that temperature while you're running errands or whatever the case may be. I guess this will detect that the water is cooling down from the temperature that you asked it or set it to, and it'll push hot water in there. So, or if you're in the tub and the water starts to cool down, it'll push more hot water out, and it kind of feels like a jacuzzi because you feel that water flowing in while you're in it. So it's pretty neat. You can also, for the shower, gauge the temperature control here as well by going up and down. It's pretty neat. Also have storage here in the shower, so that's nice. And let's continue on. Oh, and that's another one of my favorite features. This light is actually motion centered at the front door. So if you're coming in at night or whatever, you don't have to worry about fumbling around in the dark. It will cut on for you automatically. And next we have my bedroom. So I love my room. It's nice, cozy in here. It heats up pretty well with this aircon. And the only complaint I have is the closet space. So this is my bedroom closet. And I managed to fit like most of like my day-to-day clothes in here. I added some like storage at the top for like accessories. And then this beam was not in the closet initially. I actually had to go to Homes, which is like a home goods store here. I guess more similar to like a Home Depot. And I gave them the measurements and had them cut this pole for me so that I could install it and like hang my clothes at the bottom. So yeah. Another reason why I've been able to mush all my things in here is because I made sure that I purchased furniture with storage. So there's drawers, 4 drawers on the bottom of my bed. And I also purchased this like mini dresser thing from the home store here in Japan. So that's also been a lifesaver. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. The only other thing is you can't really hang things on the wall here because it will damage the wallpaper. So they do wallpaper here, which I think is gorgeous, by the way. But in order to hang this up, it would have been a lot of work and caused a lot of damage, and I would not be getting my deposit back. So I decided to just purchase these little beams here to raise my headboard up a bit. And that's given me the ability to still get the look I want to go for in comfort and convenience without destroying the property. So yeah. Oh, another thing, all of the main rooms, so my den room, my guest room, and my bedroom and living room have these little remotes for the lights. So you can cut them on and off. You can set evening lighting. So I actually use this particular setting in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, when I don't want it to be too bright in the room because it's still dark outside, but I want to be able to see. this comes in handy. It also has like features where you can dim the light itself. You can brighten it. And then you can change the color settings. So if you want more of a white light as opposed to like a yellow light, that is an option. So I love this little gadget. I'm still not quite sure what these are. I haven't really played around with those, but I mostly just use this and cut it on and off and go on with my day. Next, we have the living room. I guess living/dining room. I guess this area was meant to have like a dining table. Since it's just me, I didn't really feel that it was necessary. So I just decided to put a mirror here and put some lights behind it. And at night, it's just such a vibe. So yeah. But this is my living room, y'all. Like I said, I made sure that I purchased furniture that had storage space. So you can actually store things underneath each of these seats, which lets me keep my extra blankets and comforters and throws and things like that underneath the couch. I also have here my guest room, which is so small. This is, I think, a double twin bed. So comfortable enough for an adult. I've never tried to squeeze 2 adults on here. I think it's possible, but I've only really had 1 guest at a time. So it's worked for me so far. Again, we have the remote in here. I guess this was meant to be a study room, but they marketed it as 2 bedrooms. So here we are. And this is the actual size of my guest room closet. Very, very small, very, very slim. Not much to work with there. So again, the mirror that's in here provides extra storage space for guests, and they can just grab a hanger and hang their extra clothing items that don't fit in there on this piece of furniture here. It also has its own air con, and then guests are able to like peek out the window and see like the temple next door and everything. And this room is actually intended to be a tatami room, but I went ahead and just made it my prayer room, so I actually don't wear shoes in here. I sit and meditate a little bit, play with my Zen garden, and then I went ahead and hung my records of like my favorite artists. That way I can just kind of vibe out. As you see, I have another tiny closet in here. I won't open that one because that is like clothes that I couldn't fit anywhere else. I just toss in there, and I have the intention of like setting up some kind of storage later. I also put up this curtain to hide like my totes and things that I used to pack when I was coming here, so that they're just not taking up space in like an eyesore. And after the living room, our final room is the kitchen, which is relatively small compared to what I had in Italy, but I made it work, made it do what it do. So like my little dry foods and things that I eat like on a daily basis, I have here at my little cereal bar. I decided to hang my wine glasses here over the sink. That way they're out of the way and still safe and stored. I also went ahead and purchased this little shelf. That way I can, store my wine collection. Look at the little outfits. I think that is so cute. And because of the fact that I do not have a full oven, as you can see, I only have a fish grill. My friend went ahead and bought me this toaster oven, which thank God for her. It has so many features. I love you, Desi, because this has been a lifesaver. It's the perfect size for me because it's just myself. Even if I had like friends over, it's not like I'd have a big party. So it's enough to make like a full meal to feed, quite a few people and not be the full size of an oven. Got my microwave down there, extra wine and like little pieces of junk, honestly, that I probably need to put away. And our refrigerator. So this is actually brand new. I was able to rip all the plastic off when I first moved in. The storage for this fridge is pretty similar to like how my fridge in Italy was. I've now gotten used to having smaller refrigerators because the groceries and produce overseas, in my experience, it's so fresh that like you might as well just buy what you need as you need it. Like I don't really stock up on things unless it's like, you know, things you drink, liquids. But as far as like fresh produce and stuff, eggs, things like that, I will not purchase it for more than like 2 or 3 days out because I don't want it to go bad. I also have some storage cabinets up here. I actually had to condense a lot of my kitchen gadgets and things because it's not as much storage space as I had in the States or even in Italy. So I just tried to make it do what it do. I even stuck my little gizmos and gadgets down in here that I can access easily. Oh, and I also have another one of those water heater things. So if I turn this on, it should light up, yeah, and tell me what the temperature of the water is set to. Oh, another feature that they have here in Japan, instead of a garbage disposal, they have these little kitchen racks to catch all of your excess food and gunk that may go down the drain. And then you actually use like these hairnet things and put it in there and it catches it, and then you just throw the whole hairnet away, which I think is pretty neat. You don't have to worry too much about clogging your drain that way because it catches anything that might get clogged. And then also, I'm a big person that doesn't like to reach in the sink to clear it out. So just grabbing that net gives me a little bit more peace of mind, honestly. So the oven actually has this safety feature where, let's see if it'll light. Oh, it did it this time. If it realizes after a while that this gets too hot or that there's nothing on top of there, it will actually shut itself off. And you actually control it by like adjusting these gauges. A lot of times you can't have too many on or it'll like shut other stuff down. But I guess it's cooperating today. This is probably my favorite feature about my home. So whenever a guest arrives or I have a delivery, whether it's food, whatever, they actually can call from outside and their image will display here and we can communicate through the speaker, and I can unlock the doors to like let them into the building. Also, whenever there's like a notice that may go out or if I miss someone's call when they're trying to get into the building, I can actually go here and like review all of my voice messages or video messages. It also goes off in the event that there's a fire or emergency. So like it'll turn red and blink. They even have the setting where I can set it to English so that I can understand what's going on. They have all types of other little features. I never really paid attention to these other things, but my favorite thing is when I do order food, just knowing who's ringing my doorbell, who's looking for me, and being in control of if they can access the building or not. And then there's also a doorbell outside my apartment door where I can talk to them through here and figure out, you know, who's at my door. Konbanwa. Arigatou gozaimasu. And last but not least, we have the balcony. This balcony is the entire length of my apartment. So you can see inside the guest room here. But yeah, not too much of a clear view, but I do like that I have the temple next door. And I can actually get a partial view of the sea over here, which is really nice. And like I said, it covers the length of my entire apartment, so I can also reach and get into my bedroom here as well. This little guide was put together for me by my realtor when I first moved in. It's so cute. She made a little Bitmoji for herself. I'm going to skip the first page because it has some personal information on there. But it also does talk about how to set up bill payment services. She also gave me this little printout on like knowing what kind of thumbtacks I can use for the walls. Here in Japan, since the walls are wallpapered, you have to be really careful about how you hang things, if you hang things at all. So you need like these little thumbtacks that have like 3 little tiny needles in there. And like when you take them out of the wall, you barely even notice that anything was there. I actually have an example of one right here. So you can see like those three little silver needles inside. They're very fine, which allows for me to be able to hang things and not damage the wall. And with it being three in there, it makes it a lot more sturdy. Also, she gives instructions on like mold prevention. It does get pretty humid here, which are the perfect conditions for mold. I've been pretty good and pretty lucky so far about not getting mold. I've kind of had to deal with the same thing when living in Italy, so I learned through that experience. This is a gas meter guide on how to read it and use it. This is instructions on how to avoid power suppression, all types of little things in here. But what was most important to me was the disposal and separation guide. It took me a while to get used to it, but they tell you what goes into the burnable bins, what goes into recyclable, non-burnable cans and bottles. It's a whole process, y'all. You need to like double bag anything that's food related, tie up things that are like wood and cardboard. Even for like your water bottles and things, you have to remove the bottle caps and the label. And they even like, they break it down. It's just so much detail. Like when I say so much detail, like she went into a little bit of everything. But yeah. This particular calendar does not apply to me because my building actually has a trash room on every floor, which allows me to not have to like worry about taking stuff out on a certain day of the week. I said the evening vibes be vibing. This is exactly what I meant. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Mwah.